Right, so I was finishing up this video. It's about older people. You know, everyone knows that older people. If you're a young person, if you're younger than someone in your life, I tell you you're a victim of a crime because, if anyone's older than you, Socrates would say so that you're a king to them because they see you as a special person who, you could have been murdered. I mean, if you think about it, someone older than you can easily murder you. So the point is that because you're younger, that makes you a king. Who wouldn't think that older people would naturally want to drive you homeless, rape you, murder you? And the story Prince Hector's story, there was his baby. Everyone knew that the name Prince Hector means someone younger. Prince, like Prince Vegeta. That means like to a king, King Vegeta. You're younger. And in the story Frieza, and in the Dragon Ball Z, where Frieza, everyone knows that King Vegeta attacked Frieza because Frieza was younger. Because King Vegeta was older, he wanted to murder him because he tried to put the can in Mexican. Just because Mexicans can do something, they will. It's usually because they're older, though. Everyone knows Mexicans are older. I mean, who doesn't look at all these old Mexicans out here who are already millions? They're ancient. They're ancient. I mean, you see a lot of old-looking women who are fat. I'm glad that Mexicans are fat and ugly and retarded because they deserve to. They're a part of society that deserves to be that no matter what. There's nothing that could change that. I mean, even if were good-looking people, all they would do because they're older, or society itself, because they're older, I guess, they would just aim at ruining someone's life. And usually when you have millions of people, even if they're young people, they usually just turn out to be the majority, the number of in the world. So and they establish a society, and all they go and do is establish a leech kingdom against a king, which was in the story Prince Hector. I guess the son was murdered. His son was named Big Decido, I guess. I don't know. Scary. Scary seeing older people who are motivated to make someone homeless. It's like, who doesn't know a younger person can easily be raped, or like a child? I mean, a child can be raped. I mean, what do they do? The children rape them, and then they still ask you to pay for your things, even though if you were raped as a younger person, you deserve lawsuit money. I don't say money, but you deserve, as a younger person, you deserve support in personal space, and you don't need, you deserve to not have older people telling you to earn anything from them, because they're always just playing mind games. It's all older people do. Play mind games like Lex Luthor and Lionel. If Lionel was playing mind games with Lex because Lex is younger. So even usually older women, they'll side with their older male partners, and since they're Mexican, they'll drive you homeless. Like me personally, I have older people trying to drive me homeless. I know there's one girl named Diana. She had her dick chopped off, and now she has a vagina. Because she was younger and people wanted her homeless. Her victimizer was renamed Ricardo Alvarez. He's someone who lived with me, but I almost killed him in self-defense, like Bruce Lee. I kind of beat him senseless, and if he kept going, I would have broken his head open. Just with a wrestling movie. Try to drop him on the floor like Brock Lesnar, what did the wrestler. Who doesn't know to defend themselves constitutionally. As an American, you have rights against Mexicans because they don't belong in the country because they're just here to make Americans homeless. That's who doesn't know that. Who didn't see Mexicans as bad? That Mexicans walking by not offering sex. They're not Scientologists, I guess. They must be a suppressor person. You know, often Mexicans are jealous of, you know, I mean, I know in a war, you know, Achilles, the war would win against Mexico. I mean, every Mexican in the world would die to you know, Achilles if he fought them all one by one, or even in a group. You know, that's what everyone knows. Mexicans are jealous and envy that kind of glory in Americans. You know, Americans are tough, built, you know, children who grow up to be strong adults. Everyone knows that, you know, you can't trust Mexicans because of that. You know, they're people who are pathetic. If they try to win a fight, they would try to call their friends, you know, like they call 911 because they claim they have an emergency. Every time, like, you know, that's what Mexicans do. They're cowards. You know, they start fights and they try to walk, or they try to have people help them walk away. I mean, have you ever been at school and then you have, like, the school teachers, like, you know, they see a fight between two students and then, you know, they break it up? It's obviously because, you know, they break it up because they know someone's going to get messed up badly till they die. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. You think you should just, like, butt out and let those people die? I mean, whoever's in the, you know, people have the freedom to defend themselves to the death. You know, it's constitutional. That's what 1776. You know, when the Americans conquered the land against Mexico. You know, and Indian givers, people who were brown skin, red skin, like, you know, so one of their names was Vileta, Humberto, and, you know, people like that with names like those, you know, people like that don't deserve land. You know, they deserve to go back home to Mexico, where they can, like, you know, try to reach happiness, I guess. Since, you know, you pay tribute to your land unless they raped you. I don't know. I think Mexicans feel raped by by Mexico itself. Because I see a lot of Mexicans out here, they look brain dead. I mean, most of them don't seem to have a natural high. They seem to depend on crystal meth. Because I know a lot of girls that do the pookie. You know, a lot of fat girls, even good-looking girls. You know, that's weird. I'm just glad I'm not on crystal meth. I'm glad some, you know, Mexicans hit the pookie. It makes me laugh right at them. And I don't care if you try to come at me, you know. You know, I'm gonna tell you where I live. You know, I wouldn't tell you. I mean, if you guys want me to snitch, too bad. Come look for me. I'm in New York. You know, it's I'm Legend out here. A bunch of I Am Legend monsters chasing after one person. That's kind of creepy. Oh, and like a police officer, I'm armed. I have pepper spray. But for Mexicans to try to come at me, you know, squirt, squirt. You know, don't try to get any further than that. Because, you know, I'm like a police officer, I'll defend myself like one, you know, exactly like one. You know, you won't like it. You know, if you think what they did to Rodney King, what they do to people in self-defense, like kill people in self-defense, you know, if you think that's something, you gotta see what I'm gonna do. You know, and the self-defense, like a police officer. Because, you know, when I like Bruce Lee. And when I was younger, I always wanted to be, you know, a detective. And, well, you know, not a cop detective, like more like a cartoony detective, someone who just like enjoys himself. But, you know, it's kind of weird that people don't want to fight down. And that's weird. You wonder what that is. You wonder if they have a school police department, why they have like, why these. You wonder how they have a school police department, and then there's like, 911. That's awkward. Isn't that the same thing? Because in schools, isn't the police department there for emergencies? I guess when the students are to fight and can't handle and about to die or something. You know, in a fist fight, I guess someone can beat you, you know, hit your nose so many times you bleed to death. Whew. But my advice is for you to stay away from older people. This is just an anti-rape video. Everyone knows that, you know, you can't really trust older people, I guess. You know, but it's sure. You know, I guess if I have any, like, I don't know, I guess. You know, the one thing that I do like is Mexican food, though. I don't, you know, argue there. Mexican food is good. I'm Mexicano. But, you know, I mean, you know, I'm white, but, you know, I call myself Mexicano because, you know, when I like fight a Mexican, I call myself Aquiles in Spanish. You know, means that, you know, I should just fight all these Mexicans. You know, if they threaten me too much, it's just like, you know, chill. Who knows what? Just be like, hey, Josh. Chill. Doesn't know not to let people jump them. I mean, kind of awkward nonsense is that where you claim that, because you're older, that you have the right to, do whatever you want to with a younger person. Come on, everyone knows that's how Mexican parents are. All they do is claim that they have the right to hit you with a belt. They have the right to send you to school. Come on, everyone knows Frieza never needed education. He was younger than everyone. No one he needed education. By education, I guess someone meant they want to hit him across the face with a belt. Those are Mexicans. That's what they do. As you try to bust your nose with a belt, I guess. It's just embarrassing to see so many branded Mexicans. You think I'm kind of glad, I'm glad they're not good-looking people because they don't deserve to be. Who doesn't know that society doesn't deserve anything? If you can't handle your shit one-on-one with a knife, you don't deserve anything. People like you just end up raping someone like Pedro, I mean, I think, God. Amargado Humberto, ¿cómo va? I'm Humbertazo. I speak Spanish too. See, I'm not racist against, heritage that's Greek heritage to honor, Aquiles, a Spanish name. I honor it. I mean, I have nothing against, the Spanish language, but I mean, I don't know. That's just I guess my biggest problem is against older people, like older. I know. I guess I just probably a little too traumatized with like Mexican people who are older. That's probably my problem, I guess. So it's, everyone knows that Mexican people are always like, in mental hospitals. They lock themselves up in there. I'm pretty sure they feel like they're in a mental hospital. I'm glad too, but they should. I mean, there's enough people like that, treat you like that. They treat you like you're Lex Luthor. But all right, I guess the video's ending. This video's just on older people. Just for you to be productive. Be comunicado. Be comunicado. That's a good thing. Bow down before a Kocha. Bow down before King Vegeta, a king greater than you. You people aren't greater than King Vegeta. You people aren't greater than me. No one is. I mean, if you were, you probably wouldn't be threatening to jump me with your friends or come looking for me, I guess. If you did, I mean, maybe you should come by yourself. You should have the whole city empty for me to be a real one-on-one, because if I saw you rolling up to me, I think you're going to have all your friends jump at me. That's why I have pepper spray. So that's like, I have more of these in my backpack. I have a bunch. I mean, in case someone tries to do something to me, Like, I'm not expecting it, though.